Welcome, everybody. I am Jason Wright.
And I am your neighborhood sis, Ash T.
Distinguished gentleman, Jamie Wright.
This your man that's going to always keep it real, Jarrell Wright.
Hey, this is Talisha. You can count on me to keep it real and keep it raw.
And we are the Our Blank Slate podcast crew. Welcome back, everyone. Back to episode 11, where we will take on two topics plus the scenario segment. I have my colleagues, Mr. Jarrell Wright, Mr. Jamie Wright, and Miss Talisha Wilson. Please give yourselves a round of applause. Glad to have you on today. Hey, so first and foremost, man, before we get started talking, man, as we have in the last couple of weeks, some current events. I guess I will, I'm gonna have to defer to Jarrell because I know he didn't watch, since the playoff series. We saw San Antonio win the series. Seeing what your perspective of that series went, and then who are you picking for the national championship? I mean, the NBA championship, world championship.
Yeah, I saw San Antonio and OKC, which was a great actually series, and those two teams are going to be dynasties. So they're going to be battling it out for many years to come. But both of them are both young. Although OKC got more experience because they actually got a title behind their belt. But San Antonio, they like, why not now? Everybody talking about, they're coming, another year or two. San Antonio, like, damn that. We talking about this year. And you do got one of the best players in the world on your team at the age of 23 years old. And he is a Army Swiss knife. When you say Army Swiss knife, that means that knife can do damn near everything. It can actually open up doors. It can screw screws. It can do it all. You can go hunting with this thing. So when I say he is an Army Swiss knife, he can be a point center.
He can Swiss Army knife.
Huh?
Swiss Army knife.
What'd I say?
He said Army Swiss knife.
No, he can do it all. I mean, he's a point center. He can shoot. He can dribble. I mean, he can actually take it to the hole. He can box out. He can rebound. He can clog the paint. He got great defense. I mean, there's nothing that this young man can't do. Right. And he's only 23 years old. So the game for him is he's going to get better and better and better. And as he bulk up and get more muscle on him, he's going to be even more dominant. So with Wemby on your team, you have a very, very, very great chance of being a champion for many years to come. Not to mention the fact the San Antonio Spurs did a hell of a job with their draft class.
Did a great job. I mean, they've been getting the number 1 and 2 draft pick.
You couldn't even ask for a better draft class than what they did. The two that they drafted in the first round have been significant contributors. The number two draft pick don't even start. That's how good San Antonio is. He don't even start. It's crazy. And Harper got skills. He can do it all too. And again, he's a rookie. And then they have the other rookie on there, Vessel. So you got Castle. I mean, you have so many great young players on that team. I ain't gonna call them great right now. You got so many good players on that team that are destined for greatness. And with Popovich on there helping Tulish, the new young coach they got, and then you got Tim Duncan, and I understand that Wemby works with Elijah Wan. He teaching him his post-up game.
Really?
So he works with him during the offseason. So the sky's the limit for the San Antonio Spurs. But I digress. I'm going to get to the OKC as well. Now, OKC got one of the great players, a good player, too, who's destined for greatness. You got your two-time MVP, SGA. So, I mean, he can play. Boy can play. He can do whatever he wants. He can score at will. Unfortunately, they did have some injuries. And Chet Holmgren, he didn't show up. He didn't show up this year. He didn't show up. But that doesn't negate the fact that he is a good player. Because he had a great season. He just didn't show up when the lights was on, when one of the most important games or series of the year. So I'm still not going to take that from him. He just had everybody have a bad game or a bad series. So with that being said, OKC will be a force to reckon with for many years to come as well. So it's going to be fun to watch the West. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun between those two. I think we got our next rivals, those rivals right there. You got OKC and San Antonio. So, and it's going to be a great opportunity to see some young players develop into great players. And so you're looking at future Hall of Famers there, and it's going to be fun to watch them grow into the develop.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey man, hey, first take. Y'all need to hit this young man. Y'all done heard him give all his perception on this, perspective on this. Hey, Stephen A. Holla at young Mr. Jarrell Wright.
I would love to come on the show and debate. I love it. Especially with Big Perk.
Hey,
With
that's
his
what's up.
talking ass, I would love to go toe to toe with him.
That's what's up. Hey, nah, man, I agree with you on San Antonio. Y'all know I always talk about that young team is going to be a dynasty. I mean, for real, but they did great, as you stated, great in the draft. They have a team that is destined for greatness in the future, and I thought it was going to be, 2 years from now, but like you said, they said, hey, white out us right now. You know what I'm saying? Not next, but right now. And they're, I believe, I'm going with San Antonio for this series. So, what I'm saying, those tap in. Hey, if you're going for New York, hey, tap in. But if you're going for San Antonio, tap in the comment section as well. All right. Hey, so I'm gonna move on because we got a lot.
Hold on, I would be remiss if we don't sit there and talk about the trade with Cleveland and the Rams, the Browns and the Rams.
Please talk about that.
We got to talk about that. There's no way we cannot talk about that.
Go ahead.
To the point where the Rams gave up 3 picks and a first rounder who was the defensive player of the year. So you gave up my man, and then you got a first round pick for 27, a second round pick for 28, and a third round pick for 29. So all for the great, incomparable Myles Garrett. So with that being said, the Rams are saying, forget those picks. We don't care about them picks. We want now. We want now. And so we got a taste of that Super Bowl championship. We have a great quarterback whose window's closing. Right. And so we have to take advantage of that right now. So y'all can have those picks. We want now. So good, in fact, that from what I understand, you got Donald thinking about coming out of retirement. Can you imagine Aaron Donald on the left and Myles Garrett on the right? That's going to be ridiculous. I mean, I'm here to tell y'all, them quarterbacks going to treat that football like a hot potato. They're going to tell them receivers, you got a 10th of a second to get your ass in that route because I'm getting rid of that ball.
Tell them, Real.
Quickly. So y'all got 10th of a second to get your ass hit that route because that ball is coming out my hand. So the Rams are going to be something to reckon with this year. I'm excited for football. When I seen that trade, it was a good, and the killer part of it is, it's a great trade for everybody. The Browns won because Myles Garrett, he wasn't going to stay there. And then you needed to go ahead and do that man his due. Let him get on the team where he can get a chip. And now you're building for the future. You got basically you got one good player out of that already who had a great rookie year. Then you got three draft picks. So that's basically, you got a potential to get 4 good players for the price of one outstanding great player, a Hall of Famer. And the Rams, they need a player right now. They don't need to develop from the draft because they have a quarterback whose window's closing. Your former MVP in Stafford, he may have a 1 or 2 years left. So that was very smart on their part to go ahead and and get Myles Garrett because they've been trying to get him for quite some time, and they finally went on and pulled the trigger. So I got to give it to Andrew Berry. That was a good deal for him because he's got a chance to get 4 good players for the price of one who he wasn't going to be able to keep anyway, and he also gets to free up some money so he can do some free agency on top of that.
That's what's up. No,
everybody wins.
Love the perspective. Love the perspective. I'm telling you, Stephen A. Hey, at first take, y'all need to holler at this young man. All right,
hey, I'm ready. I'm ready. But if they get Darnold back along with Garrett, oh my goodness, this is gonna be some fun football to watch right there.
That's what's up. No, man, hey, I'm in full agreement with you. And if Darnold come back out, hey,
they showed him working out today too. They showed him on Instagram working out. So
hey, the rest of the NFL better be scared as I don't know what. For real.
Yes, indeed.
All right, hey, so look,
make a splash from something, but that's another day.
We definitely gonna talk about that because my feelings are hurt over in that way. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna leave that for another day because I so want to talk about that, especially my Notre Dame quarterback that they should be starting right now. Anyway, but so we're gonna move on. And before we go into our topics, I did want to have one other thing. Over the weekend, man, I saw a post. Chris Brown, and Chris Brown was like, "Hey, everybody, keep wanting this versus between me and Usher, but everybody keep calling me about having the verses against me and Drake. You know, so they got the Usher and Chris Brown concert coming out this year. So Chris was like, nah, we don't need to do a versus. We about to collaborate together. He said, so I would rather do a versus against Drake. Now, yeah, we two different, sounds. One's R&B, the other's rapping, and of course, Chris does do some rapping, but he would say, hey, catalog for catalog, song for song, I think I can beat this guy. All right, so I would love to hear, before we get into our topics, man, I would love to hear what y'all thought about when Chris Brown said, hey, I could do a versus with Drake, and I believe I win. See what you thinking.
Drake who? Chris Brown would murder Drake. This man sings, dances, he's fine. Drake just loved his strippers. This would not be a competition. He would kill him. He would murder him. There is no competition. No, I'm not here for it because there is no competition.
What, Ice Cold, you agree with that?
I'm gonna take a different perspective. I don't think that's an apples to apples comparison. I think you could give the fans, maybe a fantasy versus where you get a chance to get the best of both worlds. You get to have a real R&B singer who's multi-talented. He can sing, he can dance. He's also pretty gifted on the mic. I've seen him have bars. He threw some bars at one of the Quavo, and held his own. Dude got bars.
Yeah, he did.
But Drake, man, his writing is impeccable, right? His entendres, his triple entendres, the way he uses words, and he has a strong command of the English language, and he's crafty.
Is it his writing, or is that a ghostwriter?
I think it's him. So to me, that's not necessarily what I would want to see. Like, I honestly would have loved a versus with Usher and Chris Brown as a prerequisite to the tour. Both got a lot. They both can actually sing, they dance, so they're equally talented. You know what I mean? They're on a level playing field. That to me is more of an apples to apples comparison where it doesn't matter who. I don't think either one of them would win. I think the fans would win. That's what you know what I mean?
It would be a great show. Because it would be hit after hit after hit after hit.
It would be a hype to the concert itself. Give us a preamp to what we're spending this money for.
Exactly.
Yeah, it would almost be like a like the Roots, or what was that show that came out? It was like a 4-week long show back in the day. It would need to be a versus season. You know what I'm saying? For them to go at it. They just have such a rich body of work in the catalog. That would be dope. And then if they left it up to the fans to say who y'all think won, and then they would announce they was coming on the tour. They already dominated and killed it. Hey, I will see y'all in Chicago, man, on August the 29th. So if y'all there, y'all got room up front. I'll let your boy. I got some cherries for the ladies too. But Drake, I'm not really, again, that would be a special kind of versus to maybe give the fans something unique and something different with two people who really play in different genres. One true R&B, another rap NB. It could be interesting, but I'm not necessarily, that's not a mainstay for me. I don't have to see it. I could actually live without seeing it. But yeah, that's where I stand. It could be interesting.
Yeah, I could actually live without seeing it. I think it'd be a dope show. I think it would be
interesting, but I'm saying it wouldn't be a versus. I think it would be something similar. You have to call it something else. You know what I mean?
Right. But hold on. But if you look at when Snoop and DMX did it, it wasn't a battle versus. It was more of a celebration of music. You know what I'm saying? So they both they was dancing to each other's music, and they ain't even perform really. So when
not
you
the
think
same.
that way, I'm just saying, like, if you got Chris Brown and Drake, man, that's a hell of a concert, man. I'm talking about and both of them doing 20 songs. That's hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. Man, like you said, it would definitely be for the fans. It was something that the fans would love.
I don't want to see it.
So I went to a previous concert back in the day. 112.
I didn't do my feelings and shit now.
I went to this concert where 112 and Jagged Edge were both on the docket. And I think the way they did it, they sing their songs, and then halfway through their song, they would switch to one of their songs, and then they would come out and switch again, and then they perform something again. Like that, to me, that would be more the format or style.
That's the verses I would watch to this day.
I would
this
love that. That would be entertaining to me. That would be entertaining to me.
That's
If you're
what New
trying
Edition did with Boys and Men and Tony Braxton. They did the exact same premise.
So I took my daughters to that concert when it came to Indy this year. Me and my sister Valerie took my kids who are 28 and 30, and we rocked out because my kids love 90s R&B. So everyone enjoyed it. That was a dope concert from beginning to end all the way through.
I like how they would come from the stage. You know, they had like 3 stages. That was dope. And then how they would just appear and start singing the other person's song, and then they would just phase off and go right into their own.
Yes,
So
when they all blended together and they did backup for each other. That was dope.
I saw the same thing in North Carolina. But they had Guy on that show, and Aaron Hall just took over the show.
Aaron Hall is a whole nother topic. We need a separate.
He sung like 20 songs. Hey, the songs was long as hell. He took his shirt off right in the beginning. All right. So we will go ahead and get started into the topic because that's another topic in itself. All right. So, you know what I'm saying? So we'll go ahead and get started. So, man, now that I have y'all's attention, and now we are not talking about sports again. I got for topic number 1. This question is, and you know what? I'm gonna start with Jamie on this one. Question is, are your partners or your spouses obligated to have sex with their spouses? Are partners and spouses obligated to have sex with their spouses whenever they feel like it or when they want?
Oh man, that's deeper than rap. That's deeper than rap right there. I gotta marinate in that question for a minute, but I do have an answer. I'm gonna take my glasses off so I can see what I'm saying. Here's what I would say. Overall, yes, but it's levels to this, right? I'm going to focus on the marriage component really quick. If you have a spouse or a partner, I'm going to go biblical with you for a moment. In the Bible, I think in Corinthians as well as in Ephesians, it talks about women submitting themselves to their husbands, you know, like the church submits to Christ, and being receptive to taking care of each other and your conjugal needs, right? And your marital needs. And it's actually smiled upon. And I think if you actually make a life agreement to spend the rest of your life with somebody and so committed to them fulfilling your every desire, yes, y'all became one, right? That body isn't just yours anymore, right? I have stake in that body, right? And so if I'm feeling in the mood or I'm ready to do some things that allow me to speak to you in a language that only you and I know, you should definitely be receptive to my advances and my reach. But I get it. Sometimes there's kids in the mix. Sometimes people feel ill or under the weather or they have a headache. I think that you can do something. If you can't do it all, you can do something, right? You got to be a team player. You got to be a team player. And honestly, I think it also helps to curtail and really to be a hindrance and prohibit temptation. I'm not saying it will always stop it. But if I'm getting ready to take a travel or a trip and I'm gonna be gone for extended days, you don't think she's not gonna want to touch me up before I take off? You know what I'm saying? She's not trying to send me out. She's not trying to send me out here full of manly desires without at least addressing my immediate needs before I take part. And I would do the same thing for her. I'm gonna bless her before she take off, and I'm gonna give her something to remember until she gets back. So yes, whether you want to, whether you're in the mood, out of the mood, whether you feel aroused, if your partner wants to experience an encounter with you, that you've made a commitment to be their soulmate and their soul provider for that experience, you got to play ball. You got to negotiate and you got to be willing to take care of that need. And that goes both ways. So I would say yes, but it's levels to it. I can't speak about relationships, boyfriend and girlfriend and all that, because you don't necessarily have a true commitment by paper to that individual. Honestly, if y'all are being monogamous, yeah, y'all should look out for one another and y'all should be receptive to their advances. And if they're trying to get down with the get down. But I think you open yourself up to different types of temptation. You open yourself up to them being unfulfilled in a way. If you don't make the time, right? If that is a built up demand because you continue to neglect them in that area, you continue to deprive them of that need, I think you invite new problems into your life, into your relationship, into your marriage. So my answer is yes, but it's levels to it.
No, okay. No, I mean, I agree with that, and I have a few points later, but with that being said, you know what, I am gonna go ahead and pass it to, I was gonna give it to Jarrell, you know what I'm saying, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Talisha right now.
So I agree that there are levels to it, but my first thing, I think when you're with your partner, I naturally want to. My view is that man is never leaving the house hungry, whether that's to work, whether that's to go hang, especially to go hang with the fellas. I'm going to feed you in every way before you leave this house, so you're not walking out hungry in any manner, in any way. I think as my partner that is my responsibility. Now, when we are using the term obligated, is red flags going off everywhere. Because why would you feel like it's an obligation? To me, an obligation is something I might not want to do it, but I probably have to. I never want to look at my man that way. It is my desire to make that man happy and for him to understand that you don't need all that. I got 32 personalities. Pick one. I got you covered. You don't have to go out there and do all that extra. I think if you look at it as satisfying your partner as an obligation, using that term, there's a bigger issue right there, red flags. We need to sit down and we need to have a check in and we need to talk. Because if you ever hit me on the hip in the middle of the night, early morning, late night, any time of day, and I roll over and look at you like, what do you want? There's a problem. There's something that you're not doing that I am not immediately going, it's time to make him happy. I got to put a smile on his face. There's a problem and it's time for a check-in. It's a deeper issue if I am referring to it as an obligation as opposed to a pleasure and
A
something.
lot of women have that problem though, Talisha. A lot of women have that problem. And that's why I brought that as a subject today. And Jamie, you got your hand up.
That's a communication issue to me though.
Well, I think she said something that was pretty provocative, but also worth dialing in a little bit. I think what you're referring to is a very mature mindset on how you view satisfying and fulfilling your spouse's needs. And it should never be held to a regard whether it is an obligation. It should be a pleasure, right? You should be honored to be able to take care of that. But sometimes when people have early morning or late night or not feeling the greatest or they've got to get up, they look at it as a chore as opposed to the luxury in which it should be viewed. And so I like that mindset that you possess. And I like to multiply that. So I'm glad you said what you said because our audience needs to hear this. And it's not exclusive to women, but women, I'm talking to y'all now, but it goes across the board. I love that mindset. And I think if you can have that mindset shift on how you view it, it's not a duty, it is a pleasure. And regardless of the time, right? It's my, I feel like I almost hit a rhyme right there, but I love that mentality. I really do. And I think that's a difference maker when you are dealing with a woman who is mentally mature,
Emotionally.
and emotionally.
Exactly. But my thing, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't have that mindset, and that's why I brought the subject up. And I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Rail. And of course,
Yeah.
I'm saying we still got time on this topic, so I'll pass it to Rail. Well, where you at on this perspective, bro?
I mean, like Felicia said, you should not want to feel like it's a duty. It should be actually a privilege to be able to do, a pleasure. Both, because I don't want my partner to feel like, let me hurry and get this over with. That ain't no fun to me. You laying there like a mannequin.
Y'all don't even do nothing for the man. You know what I'm saying?
You laying there like a mannequin. I feel like I'm committing a crime or something.
Exactly.
So that wouldn't do anything for me at all. So I want that person to be just as eager and as excited and with vigor that I'm coming with. And if they don't come like that, I don't want it.
I don't even want it.
I don't want it.
The mental connection that sometimes people fail to realize that for me, it's not for me to have that physical connection. Yeah, there are times where you just got an itch you need to scratch, but for me, it is an emotional and a mental connection where it's like, no, I'm all you need, and you just tell me what you want, and I got you.
Right.
But you have to have that connection, and you have to be doing the things that I need that make me want to satisfy you on a regular.
Well,
So
that's the same thing.
Obligation.
I feel like that's the same thing, that women do for me and as well. You know what I'm saying? But my thing, is if I know I got a long work day, and I know I'm gonna need something when I'm starting with the foreplay at 1 o'clock. I'm sending texts. I'm getting hot and ready. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure she's already preheated by the time I get home. All right.
Facts. I'm an attachment kind of girl. If you're doing your job, you getting the attachments, you getting the little double entendres, you getting the don't worry. I told you I'm a nurturer. So if I know you got a rough day planning ahead, that dinner is gonna be done or dinner plans will be made, you're gonna come home and you're going to relax and we're going to have a good time, whether you want to or not. I'm guessing that's what you need because at that point I know my man and I know what he needs.
To develop some kind of mentor program out here, Talisha.
They'll listen. This is somebody who's been through some things and a little touch of trauma too.
Okay, I love your perspective. It's so refreshing.
It's a maturity thing. It's a maturity thing.
It's definitely a maturity thing, and that's definitely something that some women and well as men need to be able to take heed to and take hold of. But you should never feel like it's an obligation because if you're coming with that mindset, that is going to definitely be picked up in.
It transmits physically where it's like, I don't want to do this, but I mean, I guess I got to. Nobody wants, that's not fun. That's not fun at all. Then I'm rolling over and I'm still frustrated and mad because I probably didn't finish any damn way because it wasn't really what I wanted.
Right.
Hey, but you know what I'm saying? The thing that, I mean, you just hit a point though, like, if it's not there and your man is doing that, I mean, that next morning, man, y'all need to have a conversation. Or whether it's that next evening, we need to talk. Because again, as all three of you have stated, it shouldn't be an obligation. It shouldn't feel like a duty, but it is a duty. You know what I'm saying? Jamie brought it out biblically, and I am all way for it. I was going to quote the same scriptures, but I mean, biblically, it does say it, and it's not just for the wife, it's for the husband as well.
It's for both people, absolutely, definitely.
And so, whenever she wants it, you need since we don't like the word, I'm going to use it. You are obligated to fulfill her needs. All right. So I get the disdain for the word obligation, but this one right here, I think we put a positive spin on that. And yes, you are obligated to fulfill the desires of your partner and your spouse. Because if you don't, to Jamie's point, you open up the door to temptations, and I just feel like if you absolutely, Talisha, you've been talking about it the whole time. If you actually love that person and that is your person, you and I are supposed to be doing this for the rest of our lives. So I want to make sure that I end up saying, hold up. And if I don't know what you like, teach me. If I've been messing up, hey, don't just close your mind to it. Have a conversation with me. Say, baby, when you do this, hey, this doesn't feel this way. Can you do this? So teach me. Because my thing is, hey, if your love have a language, I'm willing to speak it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to learn it as much as possible. I think right there we go ahead and close that topic out. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, to you ladies and gentlemen, please get the comments. Whether you believe, what we have said or what Talisha has said, or my own thing, your own opinions on that. Hit us up in the comment section. I think that's a perfect way to go ahead and end this segment. All right, so I am going to go ahead and go to the next topic. And with this topic, I think, so we shouldn't have spend too long on this topic right here, but I had to ask the question. We talked about some things, a couple weeks ago. So I seen some things online over the weekend. So when I made up the agenda, this question right here, I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna start with Jarrell on this one. What's a red flag that everybody ignores or most people ignores because the person is so attractive? What is a red flag that most people ignore because the person
is so attractive?
The men do this. Men are terrible at this. So
yeah, they are. They are very. They're terrible. I mean, they'll sit there. You have a person. They ignore a woman lying to them because they're so attractive. Like they'll give her a story to tell them so they can believe it. So you were asleep, wasn't you? Yeah, you fell asleep. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I was calling you, and they said that they saw you out. But I'm like, no, you be asleep by 9 o'clock. I know you sleep. So I'm like, that wasn't her that y'all saw. So they'll sit there and fabricate their own story, knowing that this woman lied to them and seeing someone else, but they'll fabricate their own story just to make themselves feel good so they can stay with that attractive woman. And then with women, if a guy is attractive, I've seen this happen. I've seen this. A guy that they thought was just cool and not really all that fine or whatever, he may call them at like 8 o'clock. And she's like, you don't call me this late. I got to go to work in the morning. But a dude that they find to be fine, that dude can call her at 4:30 in the morning and he'll be like, what you doing? Oh, nothing.
Just sitting here.
Wake up, dance. But if he fine, what you doing? Nothing. I was thinking about coming over. Okay. At 4:30 in the morning. Now, but the other guy who you don't find as attractive, he can't call after 8:30.
Okay. I'm going to look at the phone and I'm going to turn it face down or hit the ignore button because why are you calling me? You don't have that permission yet.
At 4:30?
I might pick up the phone and cuss you out, or I might not answer it all. But
bullshit,
that's fine.
bullshit. Hey, hold on, bullshit. Hey, I ain't know.
It's so fine.
Bullshit.
And he called you at 4:30, and he want to come by and see you real quick. What you gonna do?
That's
Like,
how you know where you at on the pecking order if she actually answer the phone and respond to a text. If she don't, you ain't him. You ain't him.
He asking you what you doing. Oh, nothing. Just sitting here reading a book at 4:30 in the morning.
What you doing? Watching TV? You hungry?
Yeah, you hungry? I got food on the stove. I was just about to cook.
I just made some collard greens, some cornbread, a little fried chicken. Nothing much.
Yes. So those are the
4:30 in the morning.
You let people lie to you. You let people call you at disrespectful hours. They want to come through. You let them borrow money that they ain't gonna pay back. I mean, it's all kind of stuff that people do. There's red flags out there. But with men allow a woman to lie to them because they're so pretty. And what they'll do is they'll make up a story for them, give them the story to tell them to make them feel better.
Make themselves feel good about it.
See, now I'm feeling self-conscious. I definitely am not as cute as I thought I was then, because let me try to halfway come up with a story and they be on my ass. Also, for real. So that's what you was doing. Well, what about such and such?
So
yeah,
lets me know you don't know how to lie. It lets me know you don't know how to lie. Good. So.
I don't. It's not worth it. I'm just gonna tell you the truth or hurt your feelings.
Hey, so now the question is on you, Talisha. What do you see?
So what I have found, both with men and women, this isn't just one gender,
right,
is when they are really attractive, people overlook that this person has absolutely no substance, or they're very, very self-absorbed.
Yeah.
They overlook it and go, because this person is used to getting whatever they want because they halfway cute. Let's not even get into the real pretty ones. And people cater to them. So they're not used to really doing anything for themselves. And they really are like dumb as a box of rocks. There's no substance. There's nothing behind that pretty face. Unfortunately, that's my experience. Men and women.
Yeah.
I got one more here. This is real talk too. You got several people. I've seen this happen. Several people going for a job. One person comes in, got a master's, got 15 years of experience, 20 years of experience, actually the perfect candidate for the job. Then you'll have this 22-year-old right out of college coming there wearing her outfit, look like she just fell from the sky, to come and go for that same interview. And then what those hiring managers will do, especially males, they were like, well, we really don't need experience because we want that person to come in as a blank canvas so we can mold them into what we want them to do.
I've seen it. I've seen they did more work for that. They had to do more work themselves for hiring this person. But damn it, because she looks so good, they went ahead and hired her.
They wanted to be able to have that eye candy come in the office every day to give them something to look forward to. Every day. And work harder.
I'm gonna plead the fifth because I definitely have been that person before. You walk in and you look good, you present well. I don't necessarily have the experience or the degree, but you know what? it's good eye candy, and I'm moldable. I'm a go-getter. I definitely have gotten some positions and promotions because of how I present. They would never own that or admit that. Well,
Got a
someone did
positive
way
attitude.
later, but
Team player.
I'm taking the advantage. Fuck that. I mean, forget that. I'm taking the advantage.
Hey, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. So hold on. Ice Cold, you ain't spoke up yet. Where you at on this?
You know what? I think Talisha and Jarrell mentioned some good ones, and I don't want to sound petty, but ladies, I'm gonna ask y'all to forgive me. I'm a very observant individual, and these are red flags or pet
Yo.
peeves of mine. And
Hold on, Talisha, hold on. Y'all killed me when I didn't want to really speak, you know what I'm saying, whatever. So now Jamie being political, but y'all ain't saying a damn thing.
And I'm waiting on him to finish before I
coming.
jump down his throat, because I said, here we go. I'm waiting on it.
I'm coming. Like, I'm just being honest. So I think Talisha, you touched on it a little bit, and I think in a separate vein, I hate basic, boring chicks. Like that is such a turnoff to me. You are beautiful as you want to be, but you boring, right?
Mhm.
Nothing interesting about you. I can't like that. Secondly, man, it's the presentation. Like funky breath, stank breath. You'd be amazed. I mean, beautiful girls out here who breath smell like I don't understand that, right? It's the personal maintenance, and dudes be letting that slide, and that is a major turnoff for me. Another one is beautiful women who are third world nasty. When you go to their house, it's just dirty, it's disgusting. That is a huge turnoff for me. You put all this delicate care into how you look and how you present yourself, and come to your house and it's filthy. I don't understand how people live with it. I don't.
Jamie, that's guys and girls, though.
You put your pants up on the table instead of on the floor.
No, see, I'm one of those people though, because I have a touch of OCD, just this much of it. I will definitely go into someone's house, both men and women, and I can't lie because of my OCD. I judge you. I'm the person who wants to look inside the microwave. I might excuse myself and go to your bathroom. I'm looking at the base of your toilet. Is it full of pee? Is it full of dirt? Is it nasty? Small things? Do you clean the base of your toilet? Not just the general areas, but what's your bathroom? What's your kitchen look like? Is it dishes in your sink? When I walk in your house, is there that funky little odor that smells like old mop water and bad eggs? I'm big on personal hygiene and what does your home, what does your space look like? This is your sacred area. This is where you spend most of your time. Is it cluttered? Is it dirty? Do it stink? Is there, I'm big on that. Is it sticky? Do you have stuff piled up on your counters? I judge people off of that because that says a lot about how you live your life. If you're okay with living your day to day in clutter, filth, nasty, or it's just unkept at minimum, that says a lot about you and your mindset. Because I can't function in clutter, dirt, filth. If it's dishes, my family will tell you, if there's dishes in my sink for more than an hour, ask me what's wrong. If you walk in and you see a pile of anything anywhere, ask me what's wrong because I can't function in disorder.
I feel you, Talisha. And that personal hygiene is the biggest for me. Gum is the cheapest thing you can buy on purpose. Like you have no reason to be walking around with your breath stinking. I would have plus one all that you said, but I also say what's a major turnoff for me or a red flag. It's a lot of good looking women out there are just bad people, right? Bad attitude, or they speak negatively.
Girls.
Yeah, that's a turnoff for me. Like I don't like that at all. Like I like somebody that has compassion, is sweet and sincere. But if you uppity and you talk very condescendingly about other people, I lose interest. It's been many a beautiful women wonder why I haven't called earlier in my single days because you probably fell in one of these categories. And I just that to me is a deal breaker, in my opinion. It's not even just a red flag, it's a deal breaker for me because that's at the core of who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
like I love women who freely give compliments. You see a random stranger, older woman, younger woman, a pretty little chocolate girl. Do you stop and pour in and give? Because you never know what a random compliment will do for anybody. Are you a girl's girl who can say, dang, you look good, or your hair is beautiful. I like your hair. That outfit is sharp. I like your shoes. You see a pretty little child. I'm big on encouraging little girls. Your curls are beautiful. I love your afro. You have the most beautiful creamy skin. I like giving compliments and pouring in. Are you hanging out with people who can do that? Or are you hanging out with women who say something snarky after the fact? To me, that says a lot about you and who you are as a person.
Exactly. So red flags to me, again, as everything that you've all said, but I tell you, man, I can't stand somebody that is just nasty. I'm sorry. There's a lot of men that will allow beautiful women to be whatever and say whatever. I can't, when I say nasty, I'm not talking about just, I'm saying hygiene. I'm talking about nasty in their mind, nasty personality. That's everything Jamie just started talking about. I can't stand a woman that's like that. But there are a lot of men, and I'm speaking from men, there are a lot of men that allow that, because she's beautiful, because she's gorgeous. They will go right through that. They will listen to it, and oh yeah, she ain't shit, girl, for real. I mean, they will be doing the same thing just as any other female does it, and I can't stand that either. So when I watch guys do that, and then when the woman leaves, that's all they talk about is how nasty her attitude is. And they're sitting back talking about how nasty her attitude is, but ain't doing anything about it. And they only suffering through it because they think she's gorgeous. Jamie,
Jason, you'd be surprised how many men are like that, though.
that's what I'm saying.
I learned most of what I know about a lot of local females from men who think that they are in my opinion, they ain't even the pretty ones. It's not the pretty men. They think they're the prize, the pretty men who spend their time dogging other men and other women to elevate themselves. And they the ones telling all the business and girly mouthing because they think they that dude. They think they're the prize and the pretty one. But you spending all your time down talking another man or down talking these women that you've already been with, but you're still dogging them out. To me, that says a lot about the guy. Exactly. And I definitely will judge a man off of how he talks about the women that he's been with or the women in his life.
Or the other dudes that he talked down about. Jamie, what you about to say?
Man, I forgot.
People talking more than women, for sure.
I mean, men pillow talk way too much, man. That gets me. Men. But me and Jamie talked about this all the time. I mean, like, men talk way more than women. You know what I'm saying? We always say, man, you girly mouthing. Really, you manly mouthing. You know what I'm saying? Because men talk way more than women, and it's
way more.
I don't get that.
Way more freely and tell all the details.
We've been cut from a different cloth. Like when I see that, I just be like, how? Like, how are you so more girly than a woman? How are you running your mouth more than what these women do?
I'm seeing men going back and forth on social, like women do. That's crazy.
So, both of those topics ran too long or ran longer. So we will have to condense this segment a little bit. So the scenario segment, our topic 3. So here's what we had. Here's the scenario. A woman falls in love with a man because he's ambitious, driven, and financially stable. 5 years later, he burns out and wants a slower, more meaningful life. She says he's not the man she fell in love with. Is she wrong, or is she just being honest? So the question I have for you guys is, do we actually love our partners for who they are, or for how well they perform the role we've assigned them?
What that situation, though, is that person said they want to take a slower pace. They want to slow down. So basically, I would imagine, so for those 5 years, they got their hustle on, and they're probably in a place where they're, financially sound, and they're able to slow down and still be able to maintain the things that they were doing. Now, if they weren't in the process of being able to do, let's say for 5 years, they was the, hustler and the major breadwinner of the situation, because y'all been together for 5 years. So now y'all in this together. It ain't casually dating. Y'all in this. So
y'all married now.
Y'all married. So this should be a partnership. So if you sit there and say this is not the man you fell in love with, then what did you fall in love with? Did you fall in love with him or what he was doing for you? That's what that man.
But that's the question. The question is.
That's what I'm saying. So that woman. Like, wait a minute. I'm still the same guy. I'm just not able to do the things that I was once doing. So do you love me, or was you loving the things that I was providing for you? Those are two separate things. So, and we all know, in a lot of times, the man is loved as much as he provides. Even I remember Chris Rock said that in one of his specials, that the dog is loved the mama's love, everybody's love, but that man is loved as long as he's providing. And then when he is no longer providing, how useful or how much love is, how loved is he actually is. So that right there. So if he does happen to need a break, that's where she needs to step in and carry the load. You know, because we're supposed to be a partnership here. It's not supposed to be, Jarrell, you are the man takes care of everything, and then I get there and enjoy the fruits of his labor. And now that he's not providing those fruits, those fruits are not bearing like they used to. Now my love is dwindling. So you never really loved me. You just love what I was doing for you.
Exactly.
And so at that point, I want your honesty. Do you love me or what I do for you? Because as a man, I don't want a woman to ever need me. I want a woman to want me. Because if she needs you, she's there because she has to be.
Right.
If she wants you, she's there because she wants you.
That was good, bro. That was good. I like that. I like that.
I can agree with part of that. I disagree that a man is only loved for what he can provide. I do agree that when in both situations, both men and women can get burnt out. You can be running on all four cylinders and you just get tired, and that your mate should be able to step in and carry that load for a short while you regroup. I do believe that any working relationship, anything that is going to excel, has to be a true partnership. And it's not always 50-50. Sometimes it's 80-20. You have other things going on and you need your partner to step up and take a bigger part of the load for a short period. Then you regroup, you step back in, and you do what you can to make the situation work. Now, in this scenario that Jason gave, I truly believe that this is a situation where two things can be true at the same time. She may be speaking her truth. That truth might be hurtful, that she wants that ambitious version that she fell in love with because that's who he truly was at that time. And that's who she fell in love with. And that's who she truly believed in and she loved. She just might not love the other version of him that wants a slower life. That is, to me, is a mental maturity thing because things change, people grow, situations evolve. Sometimes it's a permanent change, sometimes that's a short-term change. Can you go with the ebbs and the flows? We've all been in long-term relationships at this point. Nothing stays the same forever. Are you mature enough? Are you locked in enough to go with the flow when those things changes? But that doesn't necessarily mean that she's not being honest, because she is. She loved who she fell in love with those first 5 years when things were rocking and rolling, and she just might be the person that loves the hustle and bustle and the hectic part of it all. She might not want that slower life. She has to be honest and say, this isn't what I want, and she needs to go on. If she can't go with that change, go on and do something different and not make that situation miserable for her or for him. People grow and become different versions of themselves. How many different versions of you have you been from the time you were in high school to now? You're supposed to mature and change. Your views, what you want, things change. That's just the way that it's supposed to be.
You're not the same person you were 20 years ago, 10 years ago.
I'm not the same person I was last 5 years ago.
Yeah, you're not the same person you were last year. You know
no, absolutely not. But the thing is, with your mate, can you guys grow together? And if it gets to the point where, we all know you have difficult times. You might not always agree with your partner. You might be going through your own personal things that affect the relationship because there's communication issues. Sometimes your partner doesn't know how to support you through different life changes. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're not a good partner for you. You're just going through a rough time. But if it gets to the point where you guys are basically just not on the same trajectory, like in this position, he's been going hard and fast for 5 years. Now he wants something slower and softer. If that's not what she wants, then have that conversation and go your separate ways if you decided that's what you just don't want to do. But I do think that two things can be true at the same time, but it's just a maturity issue and how you deal with that moving forward.
Yes, no, good perspective, good perspective. So we'll go to you, Ice Cold.
Good perspective.
Yeah, I mean, y'all didn't leave a whole lot of meat on the bone for a response.
No, right?
Yeah, so but what I will say is maybe I have an issue with the question because the question seemed like it was conditions tied to it. You said a woman falls in love with a man because he's ambitious, driven, financially stable. Those are the conditions. And to me, I think as conditions change, so will people and how they feel. And so that's why she truly fell in love with him. that was a temporary experience that was subject to change the moment the circumstances or conditions change. So I'll give my answer there. But I'll answer your second part. Do we actually love our partners for who they are or how well they perform the role we've assigned them? I agree with Talisha. I think they don't have to be mutually exclusive. Um, you all were hitting around it. And that's what I find beautiful in a relationship. You never have your partner, your spouse figured out entirely, right? You're evolving, you're progressing, right? And they're doing the same. And it's a perpetual getting to know this person and loving this person the right way and finding how to connect to this individual. They're never going to be the same person they were when you first met them. As you go through a duration of a relationship, there's this continual evolution, and they may occupy a different role. I'll give you me, for instance. I mean, outside of my brothers and my frat, my wife boxed everybody out. You know what I'm saying? Dre, Phil, and Ashley, we locked in, but my wife, she plays a lot of roles in my life now because I pillow talk with her and I see her every day, and she's become more of my best friend, companion, and lover. So there is a unique role that she plays now that she didn't when we first started dating. So I think they can be both. I would accept her for who she is. If she wanted to slow down after 5 years, I don't necessarily, to your point, Talisha, think that we have to vary 80-20. We maybe just need to reassess our lifestyle, right? Yeah, you want to take some time off, then maybe we can chill the fuck out on all this Starbucks. Or maybe we can not try to keep Amazon in business by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We can slow some things down. And I definitely want to meet their need. If they are saying we have a very finite time that we're on this plane and they want to slow it down and enjoy it, make it more memorable, we are in a relationship where we should be able to compromise and come together and come up with a solid solution where I can support you and we can support whatever kind of lifestyle we've afforded ourselves. And if we need to make changes here or there, we'll do that. That's maybe the unique perspective I'll add to what's already been said. I love what you mentioned, all three of you all mentioned, but that's my take on it. I found the question flawed based on the conditions she married the man. And lastly, I do think we love people for who they are and the role we give them. We do.
I think it's a fine balance of both.
It has to be. I think, especially, when we become accustomed to certain things and what that person provides or what that person does day in and day out. And then when that changes, I think we have to ask. I mean, I think it's human nature to say, hey, why did that change? You know what I'm saying? Why are you feeling this way? Why have you not done what you used to do? And so, when that scenario, came up, to me, I'm with Jamie a little bit on the conditions, but at the same time, there's been I've had several friends, that been laid off a job and weren't making the same money that they were used to accustomed to make, and one was used to making 200 grand a year, and then he went and accepted a job that was like a 165. I just said, hey, why don't you talk to your wife and get the job that makes 40 and y'all back at 200?
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? But she wasn't willing to go to work. So again, my thing was, that goes to that partnership. But when I had the conversation with him, I mean, he was on board as well. He was like, you know what, that would help me out tremendously. It would keep some of the pressure off of me, and I could live better. And so he had the conversation with her. She wasn't willing to go to work. And so, that again, so it comes back to, being a true partner, to your spouse or your mate. You got all three of you have said it. We're supposed to be in this together. And if we're in this together, then my sacrifices should be your sacrifices as well.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, and I'm probably get some people in the comments mad at me, but you hear it all the time. What I'm saying? Me and Rail, especially we on some chains on it. Men sacrifice their happiness for their family. Women sacrifice their family for their happiness. All right.
Lies.
I'm just saying, that if you trend this stuff out, women usually sacrifice their family for their happiness. All right.
Where do you get this from? Give me an example. No, you can't make that blanket statement.
I can send you the books or you can just go on ChatGPT. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure it would just say it right now.
I'm pretty sure you just made that shit up.
I am dead serious. I promise you, I'm dead serious. You know what I'm saying? And
Women sacrifice their
that is
happiness and their freedom for their family. Women literally give up their
some
complete
women do.
identity for their family, and especially for their mate.
But the thing happens, you're absolutely right in the beginning. But when that change happens, most women sacrifice their family for their happiness, not the other way around. All right. If you look at it, it is what Jamie said this statistic to me about a year and a half ago. You know, there was like what, Jamie, 77%, 78% more women file for divorce than men. You know, and again, and those reasons aren't for infidelity. All right. So if that man is doing what he's supposed to do, not cheating on you as well, women have stated that they will sacrifice their family for them to go be happy. All right. So they can go live a hot girl summer, they can go live a hot girl winter, or whatever it's called. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what y'all call it nowadays, but I'm just saying, you know, from my research, that's exactly what is being stated out there. All right.
You are full of it. I totally wholeheartedly disagree with that and just did a quick Google. Societal expectations, historically and culturally, women are often expected to be the primary emotional anchor and caretaker of the family. This frequently means sacrificing career growth, hobbies, personal
In the
time,
beginning, you're
personal
absolutely right.
maintenance
In
to
the beginning,
maintain the
you're absolutely
household.
right. In the beginning, you're absolutely right. I just
It's
think
not just in the beginning.
It is in
Speaking
the
from
beginning.
someone who was twice married, I literally gave up my entire identity for each family, totally dedicated to being a wife and a mother and the anchor of everything. That is absolutely false.
Listen, we have already established you are a part of the rare few that are out there. I think every show that you've been a part of, we have
Is
established.
it rare though?
Yeah. Yes. All right. We have established that. You know, that's why, you know, on the first show, Jamie said protect you at all costs. On the second show, Jarrell said protect you at all costs. And I think on this third show, we all have been clapping, you know, saying on your tutelage and mentorship to the women out there.
Oh my God.
But some things
Right.
that they should be doing. So, you know, so you are of, you know, a small percentage of women that are out there. All right. So I know I'm gonna get hated on by that, you know, but I am trying to tell you, if you do your research for your, you know, the second marriage or the second half, whether I don't know if it, you know, call it midlife crisis or whatever, women are the first one to leave the marriage, and the man is left holding the bag. All right, I'll leave it at that. I'll let you guys, you know, say if there's any more that you have to say to this subject before we wrap
We're
it
gonna
up.
argue in the comments about that.
We are definitely over time.
Ladies, chime in because I don't believe that I'm an exception to the rules.
I think you are, but I'll pass it over to Jamie and Jarrell for some partying on this last topic.
I think I chimed in where it's needed in this regard. I don't think I'll have any more just based on the length of the podcast, but we'd love to hear the feedback from the audience. I want to hear what y'all think. We had some really good topics today, and I think we had some very varying opinions on the topics we discussed. I want to know how it landed with you all. I want to know from your own experience, what's your viewpoint? And we'd love to even review some of those and maybe have a part 2 for another episode. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it in the audience's hand, and I look forward to hearing more for what they thought of the show and the topics and some of their own personal opinions.
I think you about to say the same thing, Ralph?
Yeah, pretty much. I was about to say the same thing. Due to the length of the podcast. But no, damn it, I'm gonna say something real quick. Okay. Now I'm gonna say something. Now with this, women typically tend to live longer than men. And the reason why that is, one thing I've noticed about women vacation. They do their girls' trips like you hear me? They vacation and women brunch. And they go to concerts, they do it all. You don't see very many at brunch. You know why? Because that man either at home watching sports or he's at work. One of the two. And you don't see very men doing guys trips because they are at home paying for the girl trip that the woman is on. So with that being said, is a lot of men neglect their health because they work a lot. And with that being said, they're not eating properly, they're not exercising. So what happens? They typically gain weight, they typically get high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and all those affect what? It affects your manhood, your Johnson. So then they develop ED. Now, the wife is not fulfilled because this man is working. So while she's out kicking it and vacationing and going to brunch, she's seeing these young dudes walking around. And she's like, damn it, I want to get back out here and put my toe back out in this pool. I see all these fine young men out here, and I go home to this fat, always tired dude because he been working all the time. And so at the end of the day, they like, you know what? He boring. He don't ever want to do anything. I got a lot of life to live. So like to Jason's point, a lot of them do end up getting a divorce because they feel that they are being held back because this guy no longer wants to do the things that she was attracted to that caused her to marry him in the first place. But the reason why he doesn't, because he works all the time, to support the lifestyle. So then they end up leaving that guy to go out there to become one of many. When this guy, they was one of one for him.
Hey man, I'm telling you, I appreciate you proving my point, Real. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna go ahead and book in. I don't want to hear it right here. We're gonna talk about it in the comments. All right, we're gonna talk about it in the comments. Hey, so before we are done today. All right, so we'll go ahead and give our party right now. So Talisha, I'm gonna pass it over to you.
Ladies, jump in these comments and argue with them because I know I am not one of one in how I feel about this. Let's debate. Let's get on these Wright brothers and tell them they are wrong.
I tell you the truth. Ice Cold, where you at, baby?
Man, listen, I think this is a conversation that everybody should be having, and they probably are having a conversation on these topics. I'm interested in your point of view and your perspective. This was a dope session for me. I think I learned more than what I provided, and that's what I find the beauty in these dialogue and these discussions. So I want to hear what the audience heard. I want to know what your perspective, what your thoughts are, and help our Blank Slate podcast out. Maybe you guys may open our eyes or giving us a different perspective we didn't consider amongst the four of us. So I'm looking forward to tuning in and seeing your comments and reactions and picking this back up next week.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Cool, Real.
Hey, this definitely was a great topics here today. And there's a saying, those who teach learn. So I definitely learned a lot as well from you three distinguished colleagues of mine and my brothers and the leader. Y'all did a great job. I learned a lot from y'all, as well as hopefully I was able to enlighten some people on some other things. And in closing, fellas, take better care of yourself. Take time for you. Go to brunch with your brothers. Take a vacation. Go get your health checked. Go get your blood pressure checked. Take time for you. Get self-care. You know how they say on them airplanes, put your mask on first before you help others? Because if you're not around, you can't be there to help your family. Right. So take care of you. Keep yourself in shape. Keep your blood pressure down so you can keep satisfying that significant other of yours.
Hey man, hey, I'm so glad I'm on this show with y'all. I'm telling you, you guys continue. To raising the bar. So as both of Jamie and Jarrell said, I learned a lot today as well. So thank you all. All right. So we'll go ahead and end the show, and as we end the show, I always want to end the show with a quote, and as we take you guys out, I'll be very concise this week since I was a little extended last week. So the quote I will use today is, in correlation to our topics, quote I have today says, "To love someone unconditionally does not mean to love them without boundaries. It means to love them without conditions." So as we wrap up today's conversation, that quote reminds us that unconditional love isn't about accepting everything someone does or even sacrificing ourselves in the process. It's about choosing to see someone's humanity beyond their mistakes, beyond their flaws and their imperfections. The most powerful love doesn't ask, "What can you do for me?" It asks, "Can I still see your worth even when life gets messy?" At our Blank Slate, we believe every day gives us a chance to start fresh, to lead with compassion, and to love a little deeper, both others and ourselves, to Jarrell's point. So until next time, remember, the strongest hearts aren't the ones that never get hurt. They're the ones that continue to love anyway. Have a wonderful week and keep writing your story on a blank slate. You have a blessed one. We'll see you next one.
Take care.